We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Jack and Jill here.
Howdy.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today's Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about how to qualify a seller in a minute or less. Does it take that long?
I'll tell you. In a minute or less. That's exactly right. You can do that.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And back in the day, it was very, very difficult for Jill and I and anybody during that time to locate real estate without a post office address like 123 Main Street. We developed a tool to take all 150 million properties that are in the country and develop a back-end database so you could look it up by state and the county that the state's in and assessor's parcel numbers. We rolled it all up, put it together, and called it Parcel Fact,
with
F-A-C-T.
Bow on it.
Check out parcelfact.com.
Okay. So the question Sid wrote is, guys, whitetail is just, this is a comment it sounds like. So Sid wrote, guys, whitetail is just like any real estate brokerage. While they specialize in land, they have inexperienced agents learning the trade. So you have to vet them for their experience and accuracy on comps. Other agents only want to deal with the end seller and buyers because they don't understand our model. I toured a 160-acre ranch with whitetail agent last week. He brought his UTV, had the ranch mapped out in MapRight, and a folder with comps in the area. If I get lucky enough to get a PA, he will get the listing, even though I'm a realtor and I could sell it myself. Oh, so he was just that impressed with the guy. That's how they are.
My point in including that, I was impressed as hell with this. My point in including this is this. This guy's a realtor. Mm-hmm. And he's looking around saying, you know what? Being a real estate agent on my own land deal doesn't make sense from a money standpoint and a time standpoint. This guy's better at it than I am.
True.
I'm good now at just buying land.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we all should be focused on this year. This one thing, buying land really, really, really well. Not selling it well, maybe choosing who to sell, which he's doing. He's choosing a great person to sell it better than himself. I see people make this mistake all the time. They go get their real estate license. They want to represent themselves. All it ends up doing is it's expensive, time consuming, and now you're in a different business, not in the acquisition business. Today's Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about how to qualify a real seller in a minute or less. This is the meat of the show.
You know how it goes so fast? All you have to do is figure out 3 things.
Oh, this is good, Jill. 3
easy little things that you could figure out really quickly in less than a minute. Are you ready? Right seller, right situation, right price. That's it. In 1 minute, you can figure that out. Right seller. Am I talking to the guy that owns a property and or couple and or church and or person who can make the decision? That's easy. That's fast. Number 2, right situation. Like, what's going on? They'll tell you really quickly, thank God you sent me this offer. I didn't know what to do with this. I just inherited it. Fill in the blank. I just lost my job. I wanted whatever it is. I need the money. My dog's dying. We've had all those stories. So that's the situation. And the third thing, the last thing is the price. Do they love it? Do they not love it? What's their price? Get that and get it fast. That's it. People who spend lengthy amount of time on the phone, I don't think it's necessary, and it's really going to slow you down in your business. You can really quickly, anyone who's really experienced in talking on the phone like I am, you know that in a few minutes you can get on the same page with these people and figure out really quickly if it's going to result in a deal or not. You know, someone who's calling to yell, even if they're mad at you, right? You send them an offer, they don't like the offer. Big deal. You said your name is John Wilson? Great. Okay, so you're the owner. Yeah, I am. Got it. Well, okay, you didn't like my price. Well, what price does work for you? Well, great. I just knocked 2 out of them in 2 sentences. Number 3 is, they're going to say, no, hell no. I don't even have a price because I'm going to die here. My wife's buried out, whatever. My dog's here. Fill in the blank. All right. It's not the right
They're
situation.
Not a seller. Yeah.
There was 1 minute and we're done. And nobody's unhappy and mad. You don't want to waste their time too. I'm not here to try to talk someone into selling at all. I'm trying to really quickly get to the bottom line and see if there's a deal there that we could both walk away happy.
I think that's super, super important. You're not here to sell somebody something they don't want or need or don't want to do. The right seller is going to call you back and say,
where have you been?
Yeah, this is perfect time. I do want to sell this property. So what's the next step?
Exactly.
They'll qualify themselves usually, or not usually, but sometimes. It's interesting because everybody's got a different take on this, on Jill's side of the business. I don't think that there's a lot of people that have the opinion that you have. I've had people in Career Path that say, oh yeah, we talk for an hour. We talk for an hour once or twice a week till the deal's done.
Yeah, but we talked about that. And I said, that's great. So how many calls can you do a day? Well, at that rate, maybe 3 or 4. Well, shucks. Do you know how many sellers I talk to then in the same time that you talk to 3 or 4? Think about that one.
Look, it's imperative. What I got out of what Jill just said is that she has a plan when she picks the phone up. And she wants to get these 3 things out of the seller in the nicest way and the most professional way that she can do, and the quickest way, the most efficient way.
And you brought that. So I need to get those things out of the way. The whole point is how to qualify a real seller in a minute or less. Now I've qualified him. Do I spend an extra few minutes getting to know them so they fall in love with me? Heck yes. Good. But I don't do that on everybody yet until I know if it's a real deal. Because then you're going to still be wasting your time. Like, great, I spent 20 minutes with this guy. I got, he thinks I'm great. He wants me to come over and have lunch, yada, yada, yada. Turns out he doesn't even own the property. Do you really want to do that? No, because that can happen. So this is the whole point. Make sure you're spending your time wisely on the right people. And keep track of this stuff. So here's a little tip. So I did everything right. The 3 minutes or less, or a minute or less, I got those 3 things out of the way. Now I'm going to breathe a little bit and go, all right, well now I'm settling in and finding out more about the property. Pete, right person, right situation, loves my price, right price. Now I need to know, do I still want it? So tell me what's going on in the area and how long have you owned it? Got it. When was the last time you saw it? Okay. So did your dad ever do anything with it? Your dad said he was going to do a cabin. Did he go down that process at all? Now you're getting to know, not only getting to know the seller a little bit, but finding out more pertinent information that you need about the property. Have you guys paid the taxes on it this year? Well, okay. When was the last time you guys paid the taxes on it? All right. What about the area? Fill in the blank. You're going to get all that stuff and they know you're serious too. You get more information about the property and you're forging a relationship with this person all at the same time. And this is how you get these deals done. I don't have much more to say.
I think it's fantastic. Did you develop this on your own?
Yeah, just in 30 seconds, I just came up with this too. I'm like, topic today. I'm like, well, there's 3 things. This is all you got to do.
So you just innately, I guess my question is, comes natural to you.
Totally.
Like doing the spreadsheets and the data part of this comes natural to me.
Yes. I did not go to a webinar taught by somebody else.
So what advice would you give somebody that this does not come natural to?
Learn those 3 things and have it written down. Have those first 3, reword it to what's comfortable for you and memorize sentences that you do right out of the gate.
That's great.
Maybe even carry around a 3x5 card. I'm not kidding. For when these phone calls to come in, that you can quickly get this information.
Mm-hmm.
And that will help with your confidence, help with your time, your efficiency, and you want to do more deals. You just don't want to spin your wheels on properties. That's stuff that's not going to make any sense. You're going to burn yourself out and you're wasting your time if you're not doing it that way.
I would take it just a step further because we have a few minutes. You need to have a meaningful conversation with these people, and you need to be memorable and pleasant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And so, your goal is those 3 things, but the practice part for me in the past was in past lives, and I used to have Jill's job, was to slow it down. And I mean, not really slow, but get the for me, it was always just, let's get if we can agree on the price, then I can work everything else out.
As long as you have the right person.
Right. Well, I've since learned that. I guess I learned that today. It just needs practice.
If you're new and you haven't done that, you probably will at some point. You're going to go down that process and go, I can't believe that just happened.
Let me phrase it this way.
This guy doesn't even own the whole thing.
Let me cut to the chase. Or he sold it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is not optional, this part of this business. And we attract, because we attract a lot of technical people to Land Academy who understand data, spreadsheets, pricing, and, that are in industries like aerospace and engineering and software development and things like that. And so having a personality in a lot of those fields is optional. And so that won't work here. You need to either develop a personality, which for people my age, especially for people my age, might be challenging, or you need to get a partner like Jill, who has been doing some version of corporate sales for a very long time, and it just comes natural, and you can develop a relationship like that and both make a ton of money.
Do you know what's interesting about
But
this?
it's not optional.
Even before. Here's my last little thing. I was a child. I was very young when my parents identified, we're just going to call it a skill, but how I had a really good strike percentage of getting what I wanted out of a situation.
Really?
Because I identified, stop for a moment, because it did naturally come to me, but I'll give you the secret. You have to, before you answer that phone, you have to have in your head what you want the outcome to be. I want to make sure. So before every phone comes in, seriously, I want to buy it. In my head, I know whoever's on the other end of this phone, I'm going to buy it, or I'm going to sell it, or at least we're going to end on the same page and be happy with each other.
That's great, Jill.
So
that's great. I mean it.
So I go into everything like that. So
I do too.
I'll walk in, and I don't even know I'm doing it. I'm doing it subconsciously. For example, maybe you're going to return something and you missed the 30-day window on the receipt, but you had a valid reason for it. I'm on my way into the store in my head, running through how I'm going to phrase this and how I'm going to explain the situation so I can get this refund done outside of the 30 days because I really have a valid thing and I just need to get to the right person. And you know what? I know I can do it. And more than 90% of the time, I accomplish what I need to accomplish because I go into it like that. So you just, like I said, 3x5 cards, not nuts. I've talked about this, my 3-2-1 ready to answer the phone. I've done training on this in the past. We did those incentives last year on it. Have a quick little, phone's ringing. Pause for a moment, think about what's going to happen, who it might be, have a little bit of something in your head, be ready for it, and watch how great the outcome is.
Great advice.
Thank you. Happy you could join us today. Don't forget, we are changing the format. So coming soon, we're going to have, I don't even know what the new format's going to be. I would say 5 days a week, but there's a new format coming up this month. So just stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. And you're going to love the new setup we're going to do here.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I'm excited.
This is so important. All kidding aside, Jill's piece of this is so, so important. I had no idea. I can't even imagine how many deals we didn't do because I didn't turn on the charm on the phone with sellers a lot of years before Jill and I joined forces. So it's really, really, really important. We've had a lot of people come to us specifically in Career Path and say, I had no idea. We were just emailing people back. We weren't getting on the phone with them and getting a price and really putting a deal, doing the deal.
Yeah. They miss deals if you don't do that.
Yep.
Can I just ask one real quick last question? Can you give me an example of you turning on the charm?
Well, you've never seen that before?
I'd like to see it. Show me again for everyone.
Jill, you're so pretty today. What's going on?
Oh.
It works, doesn't
That'll work. Thanks.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.